Good evening, everybody. Good evening. Hello. We are back with Tarot Cam. It is Tuesday evening. Sorry for the late start. I was desperately trying to get my Stream Deck up and running because I've gone and invested in one of these gadgets that do things and they make things work. And I didn't realize, because I'd set it all up on my other laptop, I didn't actually realize that I couldn't transfer it across to this one. So yeah, never mind. We'll have to get that working on the next stream, which should be, in theory, should be Thursday. Right. So hello, good evening. Who's here on the live? Pallavi's here. Blue Chalice Arts is here. Hi, Holland. Ed is here. Hello, Ed. I am alive. Yes. Sorry, I crashed on Sunday big time. I don't know whether I've been fighting off a cold or a bug or something. I just crashed out and then that was it. I was dead to the world. Not very well at all, but anyway, I'm back. I'm fine. Sunny Girl, hi. Minosh, you can get a reading. Patricia, hi, my darling. Crystal Rose, hello. Oh God, there's loads of people in. Enraj, hello. Right, yes. So I will. Minosh, I've got your question in already. It's already starred. So then, everybody, how do you go about getting a tarot reading today? All you need to do is start your question with the word question, pop it into the doodah, into the thingy, into the chat. Good start, isn't it? Put it into the chat, and then that should, there we go, look, and then that should, yeah, it will come through to me. So just put the first thingy in, the thingy, the doodah, the thing. Start it with the word question. That's what I was talking about. Yes. So yes, that's all you need to do. So right, Wolf Boyo's here. Oh God. Search and rescue to out full force, including fire. An old man with dementia has gone missing. Oh no, Wolf Boyo. I hope he's found safe and well. Yeah, let's put that out into the universe. I hope he's found safe and well. Enraj, I've got your question in. My energy has been spiking. You need to ground yourself more. It does. I know. I'm still, to be fair, I've just filmed actually, and I've just not just filmed. Let me hang on. I tell you what. Here we go. Look. We'll have a conversation, everyone. Oh, I've also just realised I haven't got the light on again. God, what is wrong with me today? It's because I've been trying to sort out this Stream Deck. There we go, a bit lighter. So that's better. What I was doing earlier is I've just edited the next podcast, which is our health episode. It's actually nearly an hour and a half long, so it's a bonus episode talking about health and magic. It's absolutely fascinating, and it's a really, really in-depth subject. Talk about like the magical practice I used last year with the cancer surgeries, with all sorts of things. We go into the dragons, the tank dragon. everything. It's really, really fascinating podcast episode, even if I do say so myself. So yeah, absolutely. I'm still dealing with the after effects of last year, so I'm still learning my limits in terms of energy and grounding and all of that. But yes, thank you very much, Patricia. So yes, look, as Hollander says, if you would like a reading, do put the word question, start your question with the word question, and yeah, hopefully that will come through to me and I'll be able to get that up on the list. Don't forget, if you would like to, you can queue jump. That is how you get yourself, if you want to queue jump, you can get yourself a very quick reading or in very quickly just by going to where is it? I can never do this down this angle. There you go. Look, just there, look. So buymeacoffee.com/beyond authentic is the way to queue jump. I will just pull that screen up just while I'm looking at it, just to make sure that I've got it in front of me. Right then, so I do have a lot of readings in already, probably only going to go through till 9 o'clock at the very, very latest. Ideally, I'll be finishing a little bit early today, maybe about 7:30ish. But every time I say that, you know me, every time I say that, we'll still be here at 10 o'clock. Because that's the way it goes. Oh gosh. So yes, we're gonna crack on in just a second. Let me just have a little look see at everything. Right. There's 10 of you on the live. I've got 3 questions in. So far, that's all looking good. The decks I'm using today, let's introduce the decks. So we're once again going to use the Radiant Rider-Waite Smith deck. Love this. Very bold, very colourful. Quite a very, very traditional deck. Obviously, it's based on the Rider-Waite Smith, but that gives me very sort of quite traditional kind of feelings with some of the questions. The vice versa deck, this has been really insightful for me at the moment. Really, really insightful. Lots and lots of esoteric wisdom from different perspectives. I love this deck so much. The Thelema deck I've got on standby as well. This one is a little bit more metaphysical, I guess, in its functionality for me. And then a new one that I don't think I've even ever talked about really on the stream is the Mystic Mondays Tarot. Now this one is, there we go, if I move the book, look, if I show you the cards, it's a very different deck. Very, very different deck. Lots more totally modern iconography. Look, just look at the imagery. Look how very different this is. It's a super modern deck, and it's one that, yeah, I mean, I've used. It's one that perhaps we'll see. It's very simplistic, so it's really pared back. So we'll try using this one as well today. I'm gonna have to give it a damn good shuffle because all of the look at this silver. Isn't that gorgeous? Isn't it just gorgeous? But it is a very different feeling deck, and yeah, as you can see, it's actually all still in the numeral order. Like, it's still in its order, because I've never actually I was about to say I've never used it. I've never used it on a live stream. I was going to film with it, which is why I put it back into this order, because I was going to show you, like a flick through of the deck. But I think to be fair, I might just do that. I'll tell you what, I'm not going to shuffle them yet. We'll see. We'll see how we go with this deck. It may or may not be one that we use. It's a very simplistic deck, and it can be useful for very simplistic answers. But maybe we'll see how that goes. Right then, let's have a look on the live stream. Momo, can you join the list? Momo Batiste, you can just start your question with the word question and we'll be doing that for you. I've got Hematite and Tiger's Eye. They're all in my crystal bowl, literally just sat behind me actually on my altar desk, on my altar space. So yes, right then. So I think we just start. With the readings today. I'm going to do this. So then, the first reader today is going to be Minosh. So you're going to be the first cab off the rank, Minosh. If you are here, let's have a look at your question. Can I get a reading about job? Yes. I tell you what, for job, we'll go with the Radiant Rider-Waite. How about that? That's a good. That for me, this is a good workhorse deck. So we'll go with that one. So then, Minosh, come and say hello on the live stream, please, just so that I know you are still here. Also, I do have to say, oh, Eliza, I've got your question in. I do have to say, if you do want a reading, do put your question, starting with the word question, into the live chat so that I can see it and it can get picked up. Also, if you do want a queue jump, go across to buymeacoffee.com/Beyond Authentic. And as I say, we'll be reading until just before maybe 8:30, maybe 9, definitely no longer than 9, but it might even just be 8:30 today that we call it quits on. So yeah, right then, let's get the show off. The show on the road. Is that what they say? It's going to be one of those streams. We have a super strong connection here, right? Oh my God! So then let's have a look. Minosh, are you here on the live chat, Minosh? You need to be here so that I can do your reading. So come and say hello on the live chat, Minosh, if you are here. Otherwise, I will have to go across and we'll have to skip your reading, unfortunately. So yeah, this is the thing, everybody. If you have asked a question, you do need to stick around long enough for me to be able to answer your question. So do please hang about until we get to it. Minosh, if you're here for the last time, please come and say, yeah, you're here. Fabulous. I've got you. Right, let's get your question up. So then, dragons. Minosh would like to know, can I get a reading about job situation? Will I change job soon? Okay, so then, dragons. Good evening to the dragons, the universal elemental energies that I work with. Minosh is wanting to know, will they get a change of job situation soon? Let's have a look at the cards. Let's see what we've got. That's good, isn't it? Already starting to my hands. I don't know what is going on at the moment, but I seem to be lacking any finesse in my shuffling. However, we have had a card literally jump all the way out, one single card, and it came up this way round, which is the 9 of Cups. So this will be your modifier. So for me, Cups is all about your emotions. 9s are significant for me, important for me, because they're sort of saying that the job isn't done yet, that things aren't complete. We haven't reached the end. So there's a really interesting sort of moment. You can see here, look, this person is sat down, kind of arms folded, quite happy with themselves, quite happy with the amount of work they've done, but they're not done yet. Like the job isn't done. And the fact that this has come up reversed would just highlight that even more, Minosh. So I think there's something here. Maybe your heart's not quite in a move just yet, maybe. Let's have a look. We'll cut the deck from where we go. We always stop. There we go. We always stop when a card jumps when we have a modifier. So let's have a look. Lots of Cups energy. Interesting. So again, I think this reading is all going to be about how you are feeling and about how you are, how can I put it, your passions in life. Because I think that, quite frankly, it's maybe the job that you've been doing and this job situation hasn't been inspiring anything majorly interesting for you. So yeah, maybe that's something that we need to have a look at. Oh, Holland, that sounds fascinating. Well, I definitely have a look at that later on. So yeah, I think there's a change happening? Possibly, but I think you're stuck in a rut at the moment with work. It's like, that's what this 9 is telling me. There's a lot of, not ill feeling, but kind of just a lack of energy, a lack of flow at the moment. And I think that's something that you definitely need to look at. There's nothing here particularly work-based apart from maybe this Pentacles, which I'll come to in a second. So then, the 8 of Cups is talking about, for me, it's talking about maybe moving on from a situation. So literally kind of, you've laid the foundations, you've laid the groundwork, and now you are literally walking away. You're moving onwards into a new direction. Certainly with what is inspiring you, or what is, what is sparking that excitement in your life. Because literally, look, this character is walking away from these cups that they've arranged here. So I think there's definitely something here where in the last few months, you've wanted to make a move, you've wanted to make a shift, to make a change of direction. But I think that this is all talking about what sparks passion, and that's going to be the key thing here, Minosh, is that it's got to be something that absolutely sparks passion in you. In the present position, we've got the Queen of Cups. Again, lots of love energy, lots of really positive, emotional sort of positivity here. So I think that whatever is going on career-wise, I think that you kind of are really focused on what it almost feels like. I don't know whether you've done a New Year's resolution or whether you've done a new year, new me, or, turning over a new leaf, but it feels almost like you're focusing in on what makes you happy rather than just what gets a paycheck at the moment. I don't know whether that's ringing a bell. But then here we do have this future one, and it is the Knight of Pentacles. Now, normally Pentacles absolutely means work, money, career, finances, but the Knight is the question here, Minosh, because the Knight is possibly saying, could you be jumping in without thinking things through fully? Because Knights for me are that rebellious teenage energy that I always talk about, that energy where they'll do things sometimes even though it's not in their own best interest. The Knights will do things that they are very sort of spur of the moment, very in that moment, in that breath, without thinking things through and without thinking through repercussions. And it kind of feels here that at the moment we aren't quite finished, like things aren't quite done, because we've got this 9 coming in reverse. So it feels like maybe you're saying, will you change jobs soon? I think you possibly could. You absolutely possibly could. But then the issue is, if you do change jobs soon and if you do jump, what happens then? Like, you need to make sure you go where your heart is going to feel the most joy. Does that make sense? Because I think for you, because we've got so many cups cards, let's be brutally honest, Minosh, I don't think that you are going to be jumping just to get an extra dollar an hour or something like that, an extra 20 quid a week. That isn't the main function for you. It's talking about that fulfillment, that emotional fulfillment, having all your needs met and having all those boxes ticked. And I think that is something that's more important for you. Like, feeling fulfilled and feeling that you're in the job that you should be in is more important than just getting an extra sum of money. And I think that's what this is saying. I think you really do need to look at the fulfillment element, as long as obviously your financial needs are met as well. And I think that's why this is coming up reversed. Hopefully that makes sense, Minosh. Oh yes, it does. Look at that. I'm just looking at the live. Yes, yeah, this is it. You see, this is exactly what I'm saying. It's not about the financial gain. It's not about the money. It's about all of this. It's about your passion. It's about what sparks joy and what sparks excitement and all of those things. It's about how you feel about the jobs. So yeah, absolutely. I would say that yes, there is possibly a change coming up because you've got this night energy coming in, but you've got to make sure it's fulfilling. Make sure it's fulfilling and then go with it. Otherwise, this could turn around and bite you on the bum. Anyway, I hope that makes sense, Minosh. Don't forget, if you would like to, you can go across and donate at buymeacoffee.com/beyondauthentic. Yeah, thank you very much. That is your reading for today. Thanks for the questions. Stick around in the live chat if you want to watch other people's questions and see what other people are getting in their readings. But yes, thank you very much. Beverly C, I've got your question in. Yajni, I've got your question in. Thank you very much for your questions. As Holland says, there are now, let me just have a look. There are actually, I've got, hang on. I've got 7 on the list. So I've got Crystal Rose, Enraj, Eliza, Momo Batiste. Oh, I've got Holland as well. Hang on. There we go. Yajni and Beverly. So those are the readings that we've got in. We have got 6 at the moment. So thank you ever so much, Minosh, for your question. Right then, let's have a look at who's next. Crystal Rose, if you're here, come and say hello in the live chat. No worries, Minosh. Thank you so much. Crystal Rose, come and have a look in the live chat. Lizzie, hi my darling, how are you? I hope you are very well. Long time no see. Yes, oh, I know, glad you're catching a live. Fantastic. Crystal Rose, I've got you there. Thank you very much. Right then, Crystal Rose, this is going to be your reading. I'm just going to hit your magic little jingle. Yes, don't forget, everybody, if you're wanting to, you can absolutely go across and queue jump just by going to buymeacoffee.com/Beyond Authentic. So then, Crystal Rose, I've got your question in. You are asking the dragons, you're asking the cards, a love reading for the future, please. Currently single. Let's have a look, Crystal Rose. So then, dragons, are we going to stick with this deck? I think we might stick with this deck. Shall we stick with this deck? No, do you know what? I'm actually going to go over to the Star Spinner Tarot because it's on the desk just next to me. Oh, she says knocking everything off. So we're going to go to the Star Spinner Tarot. I don't know why, I'm just kind of drawn to it. I like the pink, I think that's what it is. I like the sort of pink pastel shades, and the light fluffiness of this. Look how beautiful that is. It's not really showing up on camera too well, but yes, that's what we're going to use today for love readings, I think. So then, dragons, Crystal Rose would like to know, they would like a love reading for the future, please. Currently they are single. So then, what have we got in store for Crystal Rose? What love energy have we got in store for Crystal Rose? By the way, if you haven't already, you do need to be a subscriber to the channel in order to ask a question. So do go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And then why not ding your bell? And then that way YouTube should let you know each and every time I go live, which should be in theory a Thursday morning at 11 a.m. For a coffee hour, a tarot coffee hour, and then Sunday evening at 7 p.m. I nearly said 11, didn't I? Nearly said 11. There we go, Crystal Rose. So I've got your cut. And here we go. Let's have a look for a love reading specifically. Let's see what the cards are saying. So we've got 3 reversed cards. That's interesting in and of itself. So we have the 8 of coins, otherwise known in some decks as pentacles. So that's one of them. We've also got in the central position, we've got the 7 of chalices, or the 7 of cups. That's to do with romance or feelings. And also the 10 here. Look, I'm just showing you these beautiful, stunning cards. So then, the 8 of coins. What does this signify in terms of a love reading? Now, for me, coins obviously means work, money, career, and finances, but it can also mean like having work to do, work, like things that take work. So not necessarily a job, but things that you are working at. And I think that this is really talking about the fact that in the past, you've kind of, maybe your work life balance has been a bit out of kilter, because if you look, you can see the clocks here. So this is very much talking about clocking in. It's very much talking about, looking at time and time management and all of these things. Now, when this is coming up in a love readings, particularly in the past, I think that balance may well have been something that you were really struggling with, to find that sort of inner balance and to be able to make space in your life for romance and for love. And so because of that, that's something that I think maybe there wasn't time in the past. There wasn't a lot of, a lot of spare time to go dating and to look for, romance and things like that. And again, the fact that this is reversed means that I think it was something that was almost a necessity for you, like working and doing all of the things that life needs to make your, to make sure there's a roof over your head and food on your table. Like, that's more important sometimes than it is, than it is finding romance. Does that make sense? And the thing is, when we're out of balance so much, when you're just focused on all of that, like, we talk about it. In fact, we talk about it a lot in the podcast that's coming out tomorrow. Channel members, you'll be able to get it as soon as I finish this. I'll be uploading it onto the channel only channel. The members only channel. So you'll be able to get the podcast later on this evening. But everybody else, you'll be able to get it tomorrow. We talk about like health and the implications, and quite often, like, whether it's our love life, whether it's just in general, we can really, like, if we're focused, how can I put it? If we're focused too much on the work in our work-life balance, we haven't got time for life. We haven't got time for those other things. And that can make us like really disjointed. It can mean that we literally don't have space in our lives for other people. It can make us ill. We can get stress-related illnesses. If you're somebody like myself who's got like a fibro, it can trigger things like absolutely like cascade them like further and further and further, so that because you're constantly trying to like we've got to keep a roof on our table, a roof over our heads and food on our table. I'm not really making much sense, am I? But you know what I mean? It's kind of, so yeah, I think work focus in the past, not a good thing, maybe not the best of things, but again, it's stuff that you have to do at the time, don't you? And then we've got the 7 of Chalices. Now this in a lot of decks is often the card of gifts. And here, look at all these flapping, these birds, all of this. This is, if it was this way up, it would be talking about kind of quite a meditative space, quite a relaxed space, but having access to these new found wonders, these flowers and everything here. But this has come up this way, which is talking about, again, I don't think that there's a lot of, I don't want to say there's not a lot of space right now for romance. I kind of want to say that, again, it's something that you sort of, maybe you're a bit shut off to. Does that make sense? Maybe it's something that you're not quite, as much as you want it, you're not quite ready for it yet. There's other things that are going to be taking precedence. So the gifts here that are often depicted with this card, it's almost like you can't accept them right now. Does that make sense? It's like, oh, that's really lovely. Oh yes, give me the gift of all these, you know, 4 calling birds, 3 French hens, all of this. That's lovely. But like, I can't look after them right now. It's not a good time for me, and there's a lot going on. And it's for me, it's really talking about that, like not being able to accept or not being able to make space for those gifts for whatever that reason is. I know this is probably not the reading that you're wanting, is it, to be fair? But what I will say, like this card here, the 10, oh, hang on, let me just get it in camera. I really need to find a way of focusing this a little bit better. There you go. Hopefully that focuses. This 10 of Chalices, this 10 of Cups, this is talking much more about there being the possibility of this energy coming in the future. Now, even though it's reversed, it really is still coming into you. It's still something that I think you can make space for, but it may well be that you're going to have to not focus as much on work. Does that make sense? So it feels like something's got to give work-wise in order for this energy to come in. Now, the 10 of Chalices, the 10 of Cups is normally a really positive card. Even when it's reversed, it's a really positive card for me. And it's talking about there being lots and lots and lots of, you know, really nice, positive vibes. This is this sort of angelic kind of figure here. We've got the couple depicted down here in the front of the card. So you've got this element of energy of love energy, romantic energy coming in, but the reversal is here saying that perhaps it's going to make some, you're going to have to make some sacrifices for it in some way. I don't know whether that makes sense, because I mean, just look, you can see this couple, like they're purple, so aren't they just wonderful? This lovely purple couple, and then this energy, this sprite, this sort of ethereal figure is coming in with all of this like sprinklings of fairy dust. But again, it's something that you can't quite, this energy's here, but you can't quite grasp it with both hands just yet, because it's coming in reverse. So something has to change, and for me, that all comes back down to this work-life balance space. So whether that's a change in the job life, whether that's a change in like literally working hours or what that may be, I think at the moment that needs to, like, this is the key card in a love reading for 2 Chalices to get a coins card coming up. That's really important, if that makes sense. I think that's the blockage right there. Hopefully that makes sense, Crystal Rose. Let's have a look over in the chat. Nope, that's not the chat, that's on the banners. Oh gosh. You're currently not working due to ill health. Again, that may well be this blockage then. That may well be this thing which is absolutely coming in. This block is now not working particularly well. and again, if it was something that took your focus, then absolutely, I think that would be why this is coming through. You say it's a lovely card. You're not working. No, well, again, this has to, you have to clear this space for this energy to come through. Does that make sense? So if you're not working currently, obviously look at your health. Takes precedent. It really does. Your health needs to take precedent. But this energy is there. It's coming in. Now, again, I only see what, 6 weeks in the future. So it doesn't mean you're going to fall in love and have this happiness like in the next 6 weeks. But what it does mean is that it's kind of that future echo, as I call it, is there. It's waiting. That ripple. It's like the stone's been dropped over. You can't see my finger. The stone's been dropped here, and the ripples are coming out. And the ripples are coming through in this energy. But right here, this is the future where the stone gets dropped, and it's not yet. Hopefully that makes sense. Whenever I talk about future echoes and things like that, is a little bit weird. But yeah, no worries at all, Crystal Rose. Thank you so much. And no, I love this deck, and I it's a little bit hard to read from sometimes, because it is so different in its depiction. But yeah, I do think it's a stunning deck, so thank you. Right, let me just have a look, because I just saw something pop up in the chat that I want to mention. Hang on a second. Where was it? Holland. If I may ask everyone, positive healing thoughts for Holland's mum, please. They had a heart attack recently and is now in hospital again with pains. So sorry to hear that, Holland. Obviously, we as a channel, as a friend, as you know, a positive witchy kind of folk, we send nothing but positive energy off to your mum, and I really hope that she gets better really soon. I'm just looking, have I got a, let me just have a look. I'm just looking behind. I don't have a bloody green. Right, okay. So normally I would use a green candle, but I don't have a green candle, so we are going to use, let's have I got a pink candle there? Of course I don't have any of my coloured candles available when I need it, because you know that would be that would be a useful thing to have to one side, wouldn't it, Lisa? Hang on a second. Let me just hold on, hold that thought. Have I got any? Oh, flaming heck. Right, hang on. Let's do this. Please say there's some green ones there. Oh, there is. Haha, green candles. Right. Here we go. Oh. I still haven't sorted out this back room at all. I really need to sort this room out, because everything fell. We had a complete collapse of the shelving and everything, and I still need to sort that out. Right. Okay. Spontaneous, quick little working for Holland's mum. So a green candle. I talk about why green candles are important for me for healing on the podcast, which is coming out tomorrow, unless you are a channel member, in which case you'll get it later on this evening. So here we go. So I've lit a green candle. You can see it's a green candle, and I'm just going to, if I put that right dead center, there we go. I'm just going to, hang on, is that more central? There you go. I'm just going to quickly do a very quick charge. So we are just going to send this energy out for Holland's mum, and wish her nothing but positive and good health, and hope that whatever pains that she's experiencing from the heart or any other part of her body, that the doctors are incredibly skilled and able to help with the wonders of medicine. And we're going to ask that everything be right and well for Holland's mum, as best as we can. We're going to make sure that whatever magical energies that we are sending out will tip the scales even a tiny bit in Holland's mum's favor. And we just want to send that out into the universe, send that out to the cosmos, send that out to the ether with the dragons, the energies, any elemental energies. And we just want to send that and make that happen. So as we will it, so mote it be. We're going to keep this candle burning, and we're just going to send this out to do our bidding. So yeah. Okay, I'm just going to pop that on the back. Oh gosh, there we go. And that can burn down in and of its own accord. Right, hopefully that helps a tiny bit, Holland. Yeah, obviously all the positive energy, positive thoughts, positive feelings, and whatever else that we can send her way. And let us know how she goes. And I hope everything goes really well for her. Right, okay, I'm going to move on to the next tarot reading, if that's okay. Oh, look at that. Patricia's sending healing energy as well. Oh, thank you. Biggest hugs. Everybody's sending hugs. Look, everybody. Absolutely. Our community is wonderful. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful community. So, yes. Right. Really, really wonderful community. You're all amazing. I love you all. Right. Okay. Let's have a look at who is the next person. Eliza. Oh, sorry. No, Enraj. Enraj, are you here? I've got your question up. Let's have a look. Come and say hello in the live chat if you are here, Enraj. And I will, yeah, we will get your question on next. Enraj, if you're here, come and say hello in the live chat. Yep, I've got you. You're there. Hello, I've got you. Right, okay, we're going to do your reading straight after this. Oh, hang on. Okay, so Enraj, I've got your question up. You are asking, what is coming for you during February? For some reason, I'm pulling the vice versa deck. This deck is stunning. It's got pictures on both sides of the deck, which means I do have to use it slightly differently to how I would normally use a tarot deck. But yes, so then dragons. Enraj would like to know what is coming for them during February. Oh gosh, just throw all the cards on the table, Lise, why not? So what is coming up in February for Enraj Dragon? Let's have a look at what we've got coming up. Oh, here we go. So is there a difference between me dropping cards as a bad shuffler through to a card that flips? The answer is yes, but literally as I'm describing that, did you see a card that flew across the top, slid down? It is just here. So when you're asking for what's coming up during February, we've got the Queen of Cups has come up in quite a significant way. So she's actually the card, the box art card. That's what I was trying to say. So she's coming up. Interesting energy. So the Queen of Cups for me is very much, didn't we have her in the last reading as well? I think we did, didn't we? We had her in the last reading. So a different deck, and she's coming up again. The dragons are giving me that same strong feminine energy. So the Queen of Cups is often seen as quite a strong energy. And quite a very feminine, quite a general sort of female energy, if you like. But it doesn't have to be a woman. But she's got this particular vibe about her, the Queen of Cups. She's very loving, very nurturing, but she's also able to sort of go with the flow, almost like, imagine like a primary school teacher. It's got that sort of vibe. She's able to sort of mold and model sort of thoughts and feelings and help assist people and just nudge in the right direction towards positivity. So yeah, I think it's something that is absolutely, like, she's a really, really positive card in terms of that. So she's your modifying card, right? So I'm going to cut the deck, so we know you don't have the Four of Pentacles in your reading because it sits on top there. So we'll do your drop, and then I can't look at the cards as we do 1, 2, and 3. So then let's have a look at what we've got here. So, oh, interesting. So the energy that you're leaving January with is the Queen of Wands. So security, confidence. So that's a really good vibe, really, to be bringing into the year ahead. So that's really cool. So what we've got here is this Queen of Wands is talking about fire energy. This is water energy. So there's potentially a clash, but also when you put those two together, you do get steam, you get hot water, you get a lot of like positive vibes, if that makes sense, because you get a lot of what's the word I'm looking for? Excitation. That's the word I'm looking for. When you add heat to water, it excites the molecules and they bounce around like this, which is why you get hot energy, and that's why you get boiling water. So there's a lot of excitement going on in the next during the next month, I would say. I know you're asking for February specifically, but I think as this ends this week and ends January and moves into February, there's going to be this like exciting period. But I do think it's coming from your own sense of confidence. So I think that's a really, really positive aspect here. Now you do have this element coming in of the Five of Wands. Now this is a little bit combative. Now wands for me, as I say, is always about security, confidence, that sort of vibe. Now when we're talking about the five, it is kind of one of those cards where these two people are about to clash. So there is a bit of a clash going on. There is a bit of defensiveness, a defensive play that you are going to need to do during February. And it's something that, because this is in sort of the present, so this is like the energy that's around now, I do think there is this element where you are going to have to stand up for yourself, stand your ground. Does that make sense? Like there's absolutely going to be things where you do need to 100% draw a line in the sand and say, you know, you shall not pass this and no more. Particularly if you've got somebody in your life that is potentially quite how can I put it, a little bit maybe overbearing, a woman or a female energy that is perhaps a little bit, you know how I said it was like a primary school teacher, the flip of that, when the primary school teacher, when you've done something wrong, when you're naughty, when you have to be in suspension or in detention, that vibe. So just be aware of this connection going on. Okay, so I do think February is going to be all about your confidence, standing your ground, and perhaps dealing with an obstacle that comes in, dealing with something that is either going to be childishness, again, teacher energy, childishness, or very much rebellious sort of energy. It could be your mother, absolutely, Enraj, it could be your mother. Queens can represent mother energy, or authority female in your life energy. So it could absolutely, depends on your relationship with your mum. But I do think this is the conflict that is coming up. So this will be later into February, I think, past, this isn't first week, this is a little bit further on, if that makes sense. This is like mid to later, like second to third week of February. I do see a conflict here, and again, it's going to come from a clash. This fire and water energy I find really interesting with this sword here. It feels like there's going to be a clash, and there's going to be, knights are that rebellious energy for me. It's that teenage vibe of sod it, I'm going to go and do it anyway. Now, if you've got this kind of element here, she's been, hang on, I can't read. She's been quite strict with the exams coming up. Interesting. Yeah, so if there is that, then it feels like it's going to come to a head mid-February, second or third week in February. That's when there's going to be this conflict. And yeah, after that, we can't see very much after that, but it is something that it's not going to be disastrous, but it's going to be a challenge to overcome. Does that make sense? Hopefully that makes sense, Enraj, but that is going to be your reading for today. But I do absolutely feel if this is you gaining your confidence, and this is your mother with this primary school teacher kind of element to her, and if she is strict with exams and things, then that's really interesting and really telling that was my first go-to example. Then this clash, this excitation of molecules leading to hot boiling water is what's going to come here. So it's almost like you're going to have to stand up for yourself. You're going to have to stand your ground, and literally speak up and speak for your truth. And if that happens, it could lead to this challenge. But with that, my darling, I will leave you with that. And hopefully that helps prepare you a little bit for what may or may not be coming up. And again, as I always say, you do make all of your own decisions about your own life. Tarot is only for entertainment purposes only. And obviously, in any situation, do seek out a professional. Don't just reach for tarot. Do reach out for professional assistance in terms of health, finances, legal advice, or counselling advice. But with that, Enraj, I'm going to leave that with you, my darling. So yeah, thank you very much. Right, who have I got in? I've got lots in. It's okay. Holland, we'll keep the list open. We'll go through as many as we possibly can. So Eliza, are you here? I've got Eliza, Momo Batiste, and Yajnina Paul up next. Eliza, are you here, my darling? Come and say hello in the live chat. Don't forget, everybody, if you're wanting to queue jump, you can queue jump by going over to buymeacoffee.com/Beyond Authentic, and yeah, doing that over there. If I take that one off, where's my other thingy gone? I've lost the thingy. There we go. Don't forget, you can also go across to fiverr.com, just up here in this corner, /Beyond Authentic, spelt with a 1. That is changing at some point. You can go over there if you would like to book a private reading, because as I always say, everything we talk about here is on. No, you don't need to post it again, Momo. I've got it in. Everything that we talk about on here is live on the YouTubes. Everything that's on the YouTubes will end up being on the YouTubes forever. Even if we cancel and I delete this entire stream, even if I delete it as soon as it goes up, as soon as it's finished, and I delete it immediately, because it's once been on the internet, things like the Wayback Machine, things like that can always pick it up and see exactly what was happening in these moments. So just be aware of that. Obviously, the way I read is a little bit different to a lot of tarot readers. We can get quite detailed, and that does mean that sometimes we reveal lots of facts and lots of bits of information about your life. So just be aware, if you don't want that happening on a internet live stream, do please go over and book a private reading there. Right then, so Eliza, I've got your question. Let's have a look. You're asking, may I know, will R reconcile with me in February? Let's have a look. I'm for some reason, I'm drawn to the Thelema deck for this question. I don't know why, but we're going to have a look at it for you right now. I'm just going to take a slurp of my drink. While I do that, I'm going to hit this little spacer. Okay, so then, dragons. Eliza would like to know, will R and Eliza reconcile in February? So will R reconcile with Eliza in February? Let's have a look, dragons. Lots of love readings coming through today. Lots of, oh, we've had a card flip. Do you see that card there? Look at that. See that card there? Oh, right. Okay, dragons. The dragons have given me in a 1-card answer, Eliza. They've given me the Star reversed. So if I show you how that way up, beautiful deck, by the way, absolutely stunning deck. Although for me, a little bit muted. I kind of wish the colors were a bit more vibrant. But anyway, the Star has come up reversed. Now, for me, this is talking about wishful thinking and about wishing on a star. So this is really saying that it feels like that reconciliation is a little bit of wishful thinking, Eliza. I certainly don't get the impression from the fact this is coming up as a modifier that this is going to be something that is like going to be happening in the obvious way, put it that way. It's still possible. I'll pull you your 3 cards. It is still possible, but my instinct is saying no, this is wishful thinking. But let's have a look. So we've got the 3 of Swords in the past position. So again, this is talking about challenges, perhaps challenges around either family or like in a relationship, when that relationship takes on the next level, which can sometimes mean children. That's when these obstacles are there. So again, I think in the past there's been issues around wider family connections. In the present, the 4 of Cups. Now that's an interesting card because I think this is, for me, look, I think this is talking about your emotions and almost your wishful thinking, but wistfulness. Like for me, this is like, this isn't an action card. This is a very passive card. So I think it's something that, you know, whatever the issues were, it's almost like you're wanting to skirt over them. You're wanting to kind of just bypass them, and not address whatever those issues were that, you know, meant that you weren't together in the moment. And then we've got the Queen of Swords coming up in the future. So again, absolutely, this is obstacles. This is challenges. This could be, again, another mother figure, or this could be like this could represent yourself and your own kind of, you know, your red lines, your red flags, your lines in the sand that are just absolute no-goes for you, like this far and no further. So yeah, it looks to be that there doesn't look to be a reconciliation in the cards anytime soon, particularly with this one coming up. So I would say that, you know, you're asking specifically for February. I think that this goes even beyond February, because this energy is coming up into like the back end of February. So I don't see it, put it that way. Hopefully that makes sense though, Eliza, and hopefully that is an answer, even if it's not an answer that you're actually looking for. So yeah, thank you very much for that though. And that's going to be your answer, I'm afraid. It's, as I say, I wish I could give people the answers that they're looking for. All I can do is give you the answers that the cards are giving me. But thank you very much for your question. Right, next up, we've got Momo Batiste. And Momo Batiste, if you're here, my darling, come and say hello in the live chat. Oh, I've got your... but right, okay, interesting, Momo Batiste. I've got your question up. If you're still here, just come and say hello in the live chat, just so that I know that you are here. Let me just have a look. Yep, I've got 18. There we go. There's Momo Batiste. 7 after this, Holland. So yeah, I've got your question right. So your question is really interesting. You want to ask about your 18-wheeler. Is that a truck? Is that a truck? You've been trying your best to get it back on the right track. Bad people keep coming in your path, and it's been your fault for trusting them. Okay, let's have a look. Dragons. Momo Batiste would like to know about a truck. So a little bit different. In fact, I'm going to go to the Rider-Waite. Let's go to the Rider-Waite, the Radiant Rider-Waite. So then, trying to get it back on the road, trying to get everything working again, but there's been some blockage with people coming in, and maybe people that aren't particularly trustworthy. So how do we get the truck back on the road again? On the road again. Dun, 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 on the road again. Don't know the words, just know on the road again. So then let's have a look, Dragons. So how does Momo Batiste get the 18-wheeler, sounds incredible, back on the road? Let's have a look. So no card flipped. Come on, drop. There we go. So then let's have a look. So we want a practical reading. 8 of Wands. So everything's up in the air at the moment. Everything's a little bit disjointed. The Lovers, The Lovers reversed. Okay, so maybe somebody that you have a strong connection with. You say you were trusting the wrong people. Maybe there's one person that you've been trusting to do stuff, and you've put your trust in the wrong person because it is reversed. And then the Six of Swords. So again, problems ahead, problems that you haven't been dealing with because it's reversed. So this is really talking about there being some issues that you haven't fully addressed to do with the wider community. So sixes are about community. So I think here what this is saying to me is that this is definitely all down to the person that you've put your trust in. And like it feels like, have you like delayed things? Have you paid money out? Hang on, I'm gonna do, I just don't do this. I don't ever do this. Dragons, we're going in with a vice versa. Let's go in with some more clarity, more details, more dragons, more. Right, so it feels from these three cards, right? What I would say is that this is to do with your sense of confidence, your sense of self-worth, self-security, all of that. And everything's up in the air. Everything's been a little bit like like your trust is there, but it's been, your defenses weren't up because it's whoever this person is that you've trusted, like, got through your defenses. This is talking about there being a strong bond with a person, and perhaps you trusted the wrong person. And then this is talking about issues that haven't been dealt with a wider community. So let me just do the drop. There we go. So I'm trying not to look at the cards on top. So what are we going to have? They've got the Two of Pentacles reversed. So again, work and money linking in with this person. The two linking in with the Lovers, linking in with this trust issue. We've got Judgment. Oh, not Judgment. Sorry, Justice. Oh, that's really telling, because that is saying that there is perhaps a potential of a legal situation going on, Momo. So there's something here where contracts or something hasn't been done, and you've potentially got a legal case to look into, whatever this person was, whatever this issue was. And then we've got the World reversed. Right, so I don't think this is going to resolve itself easily. I think there's going to be things that you absolutely need to somehow take further on this, because the World is normally a really positive card, and even in its reverse state, it's still talking that, you know, it's still a positive card ish, but it's talking about there are lots of things to overcome, because you're seeing things from the other side. You're literally seeing things from the other side. So you're getting the bum rush because you've got the bum there. So basically, I think whatever it is, there's truth, and then there's what you've been led and what you're now seeing. And I think that, again, because we've got this blind justice here, I think it feels like you've been led a merry walk. Does that make sense? It feels like, you know, there was a trust issue, there was something here going on, but you've kind of been duped. And it's almost like, you know, I don't know, you've bought a new engine, for example, and then it turns out that it's an engine for a bloody tractor, not for an 18-wheeler or whatever it is. You know what I mean? So it feels like taken advantage of a little bit. But yeah, I think in terms of advice to move forward, okay, well, we're just going to do it. So dragons, okay, again, multiple decks in use. I don't normally do this. Dragons, advice for Momo. Let's have a look at the advice. So how do we resolve this? We know what's happening. We know what the issues are. How do we resolve this? Let's have a look. Oh, we've had a card jump. So the Sun, new energy. So it's going to take new energy to actually change this. It's going to take a new situation, possibly involving, so for me, the Sun is talking about growth, and it's talking about having, sometimes it relates to children as well, so I don't know whether that's a kind of thing, but it really is talking about new energy, new growth, like almost like a rebirth. And then we've got the Ace of Cups reversed. So again, another new card, a new situation that you're not wanting to do. So is this talking about cutting somebody out and for you to move on? in a way that feels like almost like ripping your heart out, but you have to do that to have that change, to have that momentum. Let's have a look. And then the Six of Wands. So again, talking about reconsolidating your security, like laying down your barriers. So I think this is going to be a conversation, or at least like a change of focus, where you are going to have to do something that you don't want to do, lay down the law in a way that is going to make you feel quite uncomfortable, but it's going to re-establish this confidence that right the way back, the very first card in the past position, that was lost. So that isn't confidence in this person, in the person that the Justice card is reflecting and the Lovers is reflecting. This is confidence in yourself. So maybe you're going to have to go and learn some mechanic skills and actually, you know, repair it yourself. It sounds ridiculous, but maybe that's what you're going to have to do. But absolutely new energy, new practices like that go slightly against what your heart is telling you. So think on the head, not the heart. And then this new consolidation community element. So again, building your confidence and absolutely determining where your line is. I hope that makes sense, Momo. I really do. Let me go over to the oh wow, geez, right, okay, let me go over to the comments. You think you've got 3 legal cases, right? So that'll be the Justice then. When you go to the police and talk to lawyers, they act like they don't know what I'm talking about. Will I be able to keep your truck, or will I have to give it up? There's nothing here about giving it up, but there is talking about that the only thing, hang on, let me pull these 3 back. This could mean new. So this could mean something new. This could mean like a situation that you don't want to have to do. So that could mean that. But it feels much more like you've got something else to do to overcome this situation. So whether that is threatening legal action, whether that is, you know, getting the community to help, like other truckers, people that you are friends with in this field, something like that, to actually confirm what you're saying and to build your strength that way. That might help. But anyway, that is your reading, Momo Batiste. There's nothing sort of, there's nothing major coming up there in terms of one way or another, to be honest with you. But hopefully that all helps. Excuse me. And hopefully that way out of it might make some sort of sense to you. I don't know, but hopefully that helps. And with that, I'm going to say thank you very much. Wish you the very, very best of luck, and say that is your reading for tonight, my darling. Yajni Nepal, if you're here, come and say hello in the live chat, please. You've already cut everybody out. Well, again, that 6 of Wands, I think you need to kind of ask people, ask the community, ask your community for help on that one. Yajni, hi. Right, okay. Oh, fabulous. That's a good idea. You can always rewind the reading. So yeah, Yajni, thank you very much for your question. I'm doing okay, actually. Is there anything positive in store for you this coming month? Let's have a look. Right, I tell you what, we're going to stick with the vice versa deck. I love this deck so much. I really do. Right then, so let me just do a quick cleansing shuffle just to kind of put things back into a different order. Dragons, Yajni Nepal would like to know, is there anything positive in store for them this coming month? Is there anything positive in store for Yajni Nepal this coming month? Let's have a look. So then we're going to do, I'm going to do a slightly different spread. So what we want to have a look at, dragons, is positivity coming up in February. Okay, so we're going to go 4 cards, 4 weeks, four weeks of February, 4 cards, and we're going to have a look and see what may or may not be in store. Again, tarot is for entertainment purposes only. You do make all of your own decisions about your own life. Here we go then. So week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4. Okay, so week 1. We have the 10 of Wands. Now, this is in its kind of almost the reverse. This is the back of the card element. So this is talking about feeling very, very secure, very robustly confident. So this side of it, look, although this is the side that you often see, this side is a little bit spookier, but this is talking about there being this, I think you've got a confidence within yourself at the moment that February is really going to like highlight almost, and you're going to have to put to the test, because this confidence isn't placid. This isn't a what's it called, like this isn't weak. This is a strong confidence. This is a doing confidence. This isn't something that's in the what's the word I'm looking for? It's not oh, I can't find the word. Passive, there we go. It's not a passive confidence. Like, you're going to have to stand up and you're going to have to be counted, and almost in this leadership role, almost taking your confidence. So these would normally be wands. Now look how thick this is. These are logs. These wands have turned into logs, trunks, and you are taking these and moving them to a new area. So there's possibly an element of movement coming in, but it's something that you are going to be using the confidence. So you're going to feel the need to stand up for yourself and stand your guard. Week 2, we're possibly looking at, again, the world reversed. Interesting that we get repeat cards. So interesting. The world reversed is talking about, again, having a lot of opportunity, because the world is a lot of opportunity, but having to see it through a very different perspective. So I do think that whatever this card is leading from, or leading to, it's leading to this element where I think you are going to have to again make some pretty big choices in February, some pretty big changes maybe, and it's something that right now I think you've got the inkling over, but you can't see how the full picture is going to stand, because we've got this reversal coming up, and because it is so, like, literally you're in the back of the photo. Week 3 is all about your inner strength. So this is about, again, a bit like this being confidence, this is talking about your inner strength and standing up even when things look really, really frightening. Standing up and having that inner strength, having that ability to say, do you know what, I can handle this. If you see, this is like the standard strength image where you've got the damsel in distress pulling the rotten tooth from the lion, but what the story continues is that lion then becomes her champion, and when we get this situation, like, the lion would stand up against the darkness, the demons, the sort of the negative energy, and as much as she's doing herself. So it's kind of working with your strength, working perhaps even with others, during the 3rd week. And then in the 4th week of February, we've got the Two of Swords. Again, it's reversed, but this is a really interesting card, because this way up, it's, look how dark and kind of spooky that version of it looks. It looks really dark, doesn't it? Whereas this side, it's a lot more placid. So it almost feels like whatever an argument is, whatever's been going on through February, by the last week, you'll find some resolution here. There will be some sort of peace. Again, this full moon element is coming in. So again, this to me is saying the month. So February is going to be a bit of an interesting time, but by the time you get to the end of the month, yes, there may still be this conflict going on, but it's something that feels like you'll get a resolution to this. It's kind of like it will start to tide over. It will start to feel like that things are getting better and that things aren't quite as tumultuous. And hopefully, my darling, that helps. You're trying for new jobs. You have some interviews queued up. Week 3 is a beautiful card. It is absolutely, like, the strength card is absolutely lovely. You like my nails? Oh, thank you, Ed. I literally just whacked on the red glitter over the top of what they were just before coming on, because I was on a phone call till literally 20 to 7. But there you go. There you go, Yachni. Hopefully that makes sense. And hopefully that helps. It does feel like there's going to be a resolution here for you, like by the end of the month, and hopefully that makes sense. So yeah, thank you very much for your question. And yeah, let us know in the next few weeks and months to come, like how things go, because that would be really, really, really interesting. But there you go. That is your reading for today, Yajni. Don't forget, everybody, if you're wanting a reading, I have 6 left in. So I've got Beverly C up next. Beverly C, if you're here, come and say hello in that there live chat. Don't forget, if you are wanting a reading and you've got a question in, you can queue jump by going across to buymeacoffee.com/beyond authentic. You can also hit that subscribe button and make sure your bell is dinged so that each and every time we upload a video that you are notified by YouTube. Hopefully that's working. YouTube is notorious at the moment for bells not working and notifications not working and subscriptions not working, but yes, hopefully that will absolutely help, and hopefully you will get notified. Beverly's here. Fantastic, thank you very much. Right, Beverly, I'm going to hit your I'm going to hit your doodah. I'm going to do your reading after this. That's what I'm trying to say. Don't forget, if you haven't already, hit that thumbs up button. And then don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ding your bell and make sure your settings are changed to all. That way YouTube should notify you each and every time I upload a video. But if you would like to support myself and this channel just a little bit more, you can always go across to buymeacoffee.com/beyond authentic, where you can in fact buy me a coffee. Thanks so much for those of you choosing to support me. Okay, Beverly, your question is, will I get offered a job with a new employer following your interview on the 17th of January? A very, very, very specific question, which I love. So then let's have a little look-see. So, Beverly C. Dragons. Beverly C would like to know, will they get offered the job that they went for an interview for on the 17th of Jan? So then let's have a look, Dragons. We want a very distinctive, very definitive answer, please. See, we've got a card trying to leap out, and it's the Queen of Pentacles. Oh, is the job a position, a step up, a position of authority? Because if so, I think you may well do. I think you may well do. The Queen of Pentacles is talking about money. It's talking about career, talking about position of authority, basically, because the queens are in charge, aren't they? So if this is a job that is absolutely like in charge or some form of authority, Bev, then this is the card that the dragons were trying to jump out of the deck. And so, yes, it feels, again, bearing in mind, like, you make all of your own decisions about your own life, but it feels very, very positive with this card. So I would say I mean, all right, it's a 50-50 guess, isn't it, really? Either a yes or a no. But I would absolutely say, according to the cards, it looks incredibly positive. So I would say yes. If I had to say, if I had to bet, if I was a betting woman, I would have to say that, yes, I do think that you are going to be offered the new role. So, yes, hopefully, let us know. I'm so excited now. Absolutely excited. A step up and more money. Yeah, absolutely. Like, yes, that's what this represents. Authority, money, work, career, all of these things. Pentacles is a step upwards. Pentacles is work, money, coins. Career and finances. Queen is kind of up on the authority, up the ladder, climbing the ranks. So yeah, absolutely. I would say, based on that one card and that one card alone, absolutely. You've been waiting to hear, thought you'd have heard by now. Let us know. Let us know. That looks like, on that one single card that was trying to jump, it looks really positive. It came out upright. It's the Queen of Pentacles. if you were wanting any card, like the only other card that I could possibly think would be more relevant would perhaps be the Magician. Maybe, but absolutely. In terms of that, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, more responsibilities, absolutely. Would you agree, Patricia? Would you say that that card jumped? Would you say that that means that? Because absolutely, I think that that looks incredibly well suited, put it that way. The cards are saying yes. So that's what I'm going to stake my reputation on. I will stake it on that. Well, I'll stake the dragon's reputation on that. So there you go. So yes, let us know in the future. That would be really, really fascinating. Look, Patricia does agree with me, so yeah, absolutely. Let us know. And yeah, there you go, Beverly. Hopefully you'll have some really good news soon. But that is going to be your reading. Don't forget, everybody, if you want to, you can go across to buymeacoffee.com/Beyond Authentic, just up there, where you can, in fact, buy me a coffee. If you want, you can go ahead and do all of the YouTubey things, like it says just there. Look, you can go across and ding the bell and subscribe. And also, if you want a private reading, you can go and book that over on fiverr.com/Beyond Authentic. Okay, Anna Salala, if you're here in the live chat, can you please come and say hello? Thank you very much. Come and say hello in the live chat, Anna Salala. Your reading, yay, you're here, fabulous. Your reading is up next. So your question is, yeah, absolutely, Patricia. You will manage, but there'll be a learning curve to begin with. Quite a distinct learning curve. You know, it's a bit like stepping up to be queen. Even if you were a princess, there's still a difference between princess and queen. That's all I'm going to say. Right then, so your question, please can I know the future of Leo and for the next 4 months? Okay, I don't see 4 months in the future. I normally only see 6 weeks, so we'll do our best for you, Anna. So then, dragons, Anna Salala would like to know what is in store for the future of the Leo. Are you the Leo, Anna, or is the Leo somebody that you're connected to in some way? Let's have a look. So then, dragons, what is the coming few weeks? Okay, what is the coming few weeks got in store for Anna and the Leo, potentially? Let's have a look. So, oh, got the cards are not wanting to shuffle. Okay. So is the Leo somebody you're in a relationship with, Anna? Because I think that we're not quite sure, because I don't do star signs. I don't know whether that you're the Leo or whether it's the Leo is your boyfriend. Fantastic. Right. Okay. Let's have a look then, dragons. So here's your cut. I don't know why, but I went straight for the radiant right away. Did you see that? Like, oh, wow. Look at that. 8 of Wands again. Security. Oh, the Knight of Wands and the 6 of Cups. Okay. Right. Okay. So the energy you've got coming in from the last few weeks is a bit of uncertainty. The 8 of Wands, everything's been a bit up in the air in terms of your security and how you've how secure and confident you felt with each other. So this is more sort of for you and how you felt rather than how the Leo's feeling. So yeah, it feels like there's been maybe a few communication issues, maybe a few false starts almost. I don't know why I'm saying that, but it feels almost like a few, not arguments. Oh, excuse me, 1 second. Not arguments as such, but it feels like there's been a few not even walking on eggshells, just a little bit of a slight disconnect in a way. That's happened recently. Now it's kind of, it's not even as extreme as a disconnect. It just feels like there's been a little bit of a shift, and you haven't felt quite as confident about the relationship in the last couple of weeks, the last 2 weeks, I would say specifically. But this has kind of been going on for maybe most of this year, maybe since the end of last year. There's been like a little bit of a wibble, a little bit of a sort of, how can I put it? It's not a disconnect as such, but it almost feels like you're on slightly different paths. Does that make sense? It's like you're going along parallel, but it's like your paths are just slightly separating. So you're still like so if you imagine, right, my fingers are the paths you're going on, and my thumbs are your hands. So it's like you're holding hands, everything's fine, and you were here, but now you're here, and there's been a little bit of drifting apart. You're still able to hold hands, there's still a connection there, but it just kind of, you know, almost feels like one of you's wanting to go off on a slightly different direction, and it just depends on whether or not it's like, if this finger goes that way, is this finger going to go on their own path, or are they going to go with? Do you know what I mean? Does that make sense? I don't know what any of that means, but hopefully that does make sense. And it's leaving you a little bit wary, a little bit, I don't know what's the feeling I'm getting. I don't know whether it's leaving you a little bit uncertain, a little bit nervous, a little bit like just, yeah, uncertain, I guess, of like where you both stand at the moment. Because it feels like, so this, I would say, is the Leo's energy. So we've got the Knight of Wands. So Wands, again, security, confidence, all of that. But the Knights are the ones that act first and act first and think later. They're the ones who, you like, they do things without thinking. So it almost feels like the Leo is the one that's sort of, again, verging off, and it feels like you're like, oh, hang on a second, this feels different somehow. This feels that there's been a change, and the Leo's not said anything. He's not gone, oh, that's it now, Anna, I'm moving over, I'm gonna, you know, change everything, I'm unhappy with this, that and the other, I'm doing this instead. He hasn't said that, but it almost, by his actions, he's like just taking, like, there's just a little step. Does that make sense? It's like if you send a text and you're like, okay, bye, love you lot, see you later, bye, love you, bye. It's almost like he used to text straight back, okay, love you too, and now it's like 5 minutes go by or 10 minutes go by, and then it's like, yeah, you too. And it just feels like there's been a little tiny bit of a shift. But again, quite often with Knights, that's what happens. Like, that is what happens. They tend to be quite headstrong and do their own thing, and so sometimes you've got to kind of either wait for the Knight to get over their knightness, if that makes sense, and grow up a little bit, or you're going to have to kind of like say things. Now, overall though, like the next few weeks, I think you're going to be okay, in all honesty, because you've got the Six of Cups. So the Six of Cups is talking about a celebration. It's talking about like a wider community, the coming together of, you know, like, this would be something you would see if there was like a family christening or a family wedding coming up, or a family party, where you've got kind of this connection and these people that are coming in. And it's something that it's something that I think this celebration could well be between you two, but it's more likely to be like you're going to be, there's this wider celebration or some sort of community involvement. Now, I don't know what that would mean, but it could well be, it could well be something where, you know, you're gonna, it could even just be like literally you're talking to friends and the friends are like, hello, actually, you're being a dick. So on, you know, that's a bit too extreme, but they would basically say, look, what Anna needs is a little bit of like cuddles and a little bit of reassurance every now and again. And it could mean that someone else just has to say that, that community aspect of the 6. But to be honest with you, I think that this celebration it's a really positive card coming up. So I think that you're going to get through this, whatever this, like, whatever this slight change of direction is, you're going to get through it, because I think you are going to get to this celebration point. And I think it is something that you are going to move on from where you are currently, and you're going to get to this quite happily. Dragons, we want one more card as an outcome. And we've got the 6 of Swords. Interesting. So the challenges ahead, but the challenges, this reversal coming off the back of this 6, I don't think it's going to break you. I think the challenges are going to be something that you overcome. Because of this reversal, because of this element here, that things are moving. I think it could well be okay. I think it could well be okay. There's definitely going to be longer term, so longer after February. What are we in now? It's like the last week of January, isn't it? So this would be March onwards. I do think there is going to be some sort of, again, a bit more of a community, a bit more of a wider conflict that you're going to overcome because of this celebration. I don't know if that makes any kind of sense to you, but there is this is definitely February, and this feels March onwards, where there's going to be this element of overcoming some obstacles, but overcoming them together, if that makes sense. Hopefully that makes sense. But Anna, there you go. Hopefully that answered your question. This card, I would say, is a little bit vague because it's what I don't normally see more than 6 weeks into the future. So this is talking March onwards. And it is going to be a challenge that is going to come from without rather than from within. Because for me, the 6s are, you know, exterior rather than interior. So I don't think it's that you're going to have a huge argument. I think it's that whatever this is, there's going to be some issues that the two of you have to do together. So yeah, hopefully that makes sense. Right, let me have a look on the live chat. Oh gosh, hang on, there's loads. You don't feel distance, but it's sometimes hard for him to talk about feelings. Again, that could be that could be this, in terms of if you are wanting to know what he's feeling, then yeah, it could well be like that slight uncertainty that I was talking about. Yeah, it could well be that that's what that is relating to. That's Nightbot. Jem, you can post, just put the word question followed by your question. You weren't sure whether you were going to marry this year or not because he's doing so many changes, like get his degree and credits from the bank, so you're confused. It doesn't feel like there's marriage yet. That 6 could be engagement though. Like that 6 could be an engagement party. Who knows? Who knows? It definitely feels like some sort of celebration though. Oh, Jem, I've got your question in. You don't know about a new celebration, but maybe soon, you guess. Hopefully, my darling. Yeah, hopefully. Let us know. Right. Okie dokie. Right. Okay, I've got your well, anyway, Anna, hopefully that helps. Nothing too monumental coming up immediately, but yeah, hopefully that does help. HS question. Oh, hang on. There we go. HS, if you're here, come and say hello in the live chat. Thank you very much. Why has my chat just jumped up to 3 minutes to 8? What? Why has that just done that? Hang on. Let me pull the chat all the way back down. There we go. The chat on this StreamYard is a little bit weird sometimes. Right, HS, if you're here, come and say hello in the live, and I will do your reading for you straight after this. Hello, HS. Are you here? HS. I guess HS is not here. Holland, I saw your message to them to stay where they were because they were up next, but they haven't responded to that and they haven't answered to say they're here. So I'm guessing HS is gone. Kanika Lau. Kanika, if you're here, come and say hello in the live chat, please. Come and say hello, Kanika. I'm just going to check on the Q jump system over on Buy Me a Coffee. Yep, nobody's Q jump today. Kanika Lau, if you're here, come and say hello in the live chat. If you're here, yay, you're here. Fantastic. Right, I will do your reading for you straight after this. So then, dragons, we've got a reading for Kanika, and they are wanting to know, will I ever meet my life partner? Will I ever get success in anything? I'm so tired with all the anxiety and depression in your life. Well, I'm sorry to hear about the anxiety and depression. Hopefully you're getting some support for that, my darling, because trust me, as somebody who lives with anxiety and depression and has done since I was 17, and I'm now 40. I'm now 26. I wish I was. No, I don't wish I was. But yeah, as someone who's like dealt with it for a long time, I know how debilitating that can be. So hopefully you're getting some support for that, my darling. But in terms of will you ever meet your life partner and get success in anything, let's have a look at what the cards are saying for you. So then, dragons, Kanika would like to know, are they going to meet their life partner, and are they going to get success in life anytime soon? Are we going to see some successes happening? Let's have a look. Oh, I'm not 16. Add 30 years onto that, my darling. 47 this year. 47. Gosh, I know, right? Counting down to 50. I mean, God, what happens then? What am I too old to be on YouTube at 50? Is that what's that? Hang on, how does that work? If you're going to put me in an old people's home and you're older than me, you're older than me. Shut up! I wonder who gave me the grey hairs. Oh gosh, age is just a number. Do you know what? I don't know whether anybody else has been seeing this. I've been seeing this advert on YouTube, right? And it literally says age is just a number, and then it cuts to this medical thing for this RSV virus, and how if you're old you've got to look after yourselves. And I have just started seeing this blooming advert, and it's doing my head in. I had to go and look at what like RSV was, and it's this respiratory disease, this respiratory illness. So obviously somewhere on YouTube I flicked from this side of that age bracket to the other side, where now I'm getting these adverts. Like, it's only a matter of time before I get adverts for incontinence pads and false teeth gel and all of that stuff, and the big slipper and grey slacks. Anyway, enough about that. Enough about my aging badly. Kanika, dragons, Kanika would like to know, are they going to meet their life partner and have success in anything? Let's have a look. So we're going to cut your deck. Is that the cut? Is that the cut? I'm really trying not to see what the cards are, but okay, let's have a look. So we've got 1, 2, and 3. And let's have a look. Oh, we've got a repeat. Right. Okay. So 5. What? In the recent past, the energy you're taking into this reading, we've got Temperance. Now, for me, Temperance, that's what the card normally looks like. So it's normally quite a stunning card, talking about like calming things, mixing oil with water, making things calm, making things a little bit more easy to go with that flow. But this deck is a little bit more interesting, and you've got this side of it. And so this here, look at the two. Would this bird and this lion ever normally sit this close to one another? Probably not. But this is talking about finding that peace, finding that peaceful resolution. And I think when you're looking at meeting a life partner or getting success, I think first of all you need to find that peace. So again, the interesting part of the question where you're talking about anxiety and depression, I think that is maybe what the cards are picking up on more than anything else, because until, how can I put it, until we deal with finding a way through and finding a way of helping and dealing with our mental health, doing anything can be such an added struggle. And so I think this is talking about finding that way through. It's about, look, there is literally a gateway here. There is a doorway. There's liminal space that's here. And it's about finding ways through and finding peace within and without. And the fact that this is more of a daytime, this is more of a dusk energy, because we've got this pink sky here. And so I think it really is saying to you that I think, like, as much as I was saying about, you know, hopefully everything's going okay in terms of mental health, I think there's still some stuff to overcome here. I think this is what the cards are trying to advise on. You've then got the Six of Wands. Now again, Wands is all about your own security, your own sense of well-being, your sense of confidence. And this for me, like, if I show you it this way up, look, that's quite often what is seen in the Six of Wands. You see this sort of knight element, or like lord on their steed, gathering the troops, off to go and do battles and all of that. But this is from the other side. This is literally the townspeople. This is the foot soldiers kind of going, this is that rallying cry where he's saying, come on, success, we'll go over this and we'll fight the bad guys and we'll do this. And this is the reality where they're like, okay, but like I've still got some wounds and I'm still healing, and I'll come with, but like, you know, I've got some sticks and like we haven't got a lot of weapons, and I'm not entirely certain. And so what I think this is saying is that you need to look at things from a reality perspective. You're asking about life partner and success. Well, you can achieve those things, but if you're still under the influence of some really tough mental health issues, you kind of need to address those before you're able to, you know, move forward. It's like I always say, like, when my anxiety and depression are at their worst, I won't leave my house. And I won't leave my house. If it wasn't for Rufus, I wouldn't leave my house at times when I was really, really bad for days and days and weeks on end, if it wasn't for Rufus dragging me out and literally being that emotional support. Now, if I'm not leaving my house, I'm not going to get opportunities for success. If you're single and you're in your house, you're not going to meet the love of your life, because, you know, who's coming to your house? The postman, the milkman, and the pizza delivery guy. You know, I mean, that's three people. That's not really casting a net out into the ether, is it? And so again, I think this is really talking about security for you and building that security for you, because again, look, in the future, we've got the Five of Wands again. And that again is talking about there being this element of defensiveness and having to kind of draw your line in the sand and say, like, you know, I'm going to take this and no more. I'm going to have to build my strength over this line. And sometimes you do need to fight that. Dragons, I want to have another, we'll go with advice. So we'll go 3 more cards. All wands. Well, apart from the Empress, which is, I mean, look at her. She's my favorite card. The Empress is talking about, again, talking about that nurturing, that abundance, that health, that family kind of, not necessarily family as in like blood relations, but people around you and having that support network. The Empress for me is all about, like, quite often she's depicted with children on her knee, or she's depicted as a pregnant woman, or she's depicted as just having like animals around her feet, because it's that nurturing, loving element. So I think this is talking about loving yourself and nurturing yourself and dealing with and doing all of that self-care stuff that the Empress represents. She talks about abundance. She talks about, you know, that nurturing nurturing element, that nurturing love energy. And this was very much like I was asking for guidance, really, and advice. So then we've got the Page of Wands, and this, I mean, look at this, look at this. See, I don't know whether you can see here, you've got this bush that is now on fire, because wands is fire energy, but look at this phoenix. There is literally a phoenix, right? That's how the card is often depicted. You've got a phoenix rising from the flames. So again, page energy is that younger, naive, more innocent energy. And again, I think it's tapping back into that element of that inner child, that inner self, and finding those needs and meeting those needs before you're actually able to go off and meet anybody else's needs. And it's all well and good saying, you know, will you meet your life partner, the love of your life? Well, that's all well and good, but you've got to make sure that you are in a healthy position in order to have that healthy romance. Does that make sense? And this phoenix energy is really, really powerful. It's a powerful totem for me. And the fact that this person's got their back to us as the queer and us as the person asking the question, again, I think it's talking about, again, hidden inner knowledge and inner confidence, because again, it's wands. And finally, you've got the Seven of Wands, and again, that's quite often as it's depicted, where you can see these barricades are put in to protect what's yours. But here, this is standing, perhaps standing alone, but standing your ground, standing on the rock, standing here, and basically saying, this is as far as I am willing to go. This is it. I am not going to, a bit like this line in the sand, like I rebuild, the rebuilding starts here, like the defenses are in place. Now it's time to really work on the energies that are going to build you up. Does that make sense? And like, this almost feels like, I don't know whether anybody watches Doctor Who, but there's an episode in Doctor Who where one of the, or it's a storyline, one of the characters ends up being, right, go with me on this. They get turned into plastic, and then they get turned into a plastic Roman centurion, and they wait for 2,000 years for the love of their life to come out of this thing that they're trapped in. But they wait peacefully, and they wait there knowing that they have to wait. They have to, that's what they have to do. They have to wait. And this card reminds me so much of that. And the dragons give me that kind of connection. This is about waiting peacefully, waiting and doing what is right. And the time will come. The right time will come. But you've got to build this up. Your confidence, your sense of your sense of well-being is what you've got to build up. Right, I'm going to just have a little look on the I'm going to have a look on the doodah on the live chat. So yeah, hopefully that makes sense for you, Kanika. It's really talking more about everything else. Holland, what's this? You had to take a phone call. Your mum's not in any danger anymore. Looks like. Oh wow, oh, that's so cool. Oh wow, that's so cool. See, believe in the magics, yay. I will be pushing Rufus around in our old age, that's right. Oh, that's such good news though, Holland. That really is such good news. But yeah, so Kanika, I think for you, this reading is really talking about healing yourself, finding a way through anxiety and depression. And listen, I am not at all saying that you can heal that yourself, right? Absolutely not. Get support, get counseling advice, speak to GPs. Don't ever feel like worried about taking antidepressants if that's needed. I've been on them since the age of 18. I'm now 46 and they keep me regulated, right? I don't believe that there should be any stigma about taking antidepressants if they're needed. I am also diabetic and I need to take diabetic medication for my, I always forget the organ, my pancreas. There you go. So my pancreas doesn't work fully. It means I'm diabetic, and therefore I take medication to help my pancreas. My brain doesn't function properly. Therefore I take medication to help my brain. It just happens we call that depression and anxiety, and that gets a load of stigma, whereas this other thing over here, that's another part of my body that also doesn't function as it should, that We're fine. Oh, you just need diabetic medication. One is stigmatized, one isn't. That to me is bullshit. So in terms of dealing with mental health support, I honestly think, like, take as much medical advice. If you need support and counseling, go and seek those out if you're able to. Take whatever the doctors prescribe for you, and then slowly, step by step, start to, you know, try and just make baby steps into recovery, like self-care and all of that. Baby steps. And then once you're in a better position to be able to look longer term, then I think things will absolutely start coming together for you. But there's lots of cards here that are talking about your confidence and your sense of self, and I think that for me is what the cards are saying to work on. You can deal with life partner and success and all of that and all of those things later down the line. First of all, my darling, like, get yourself as healthy as you're able to be, and whatever that means for you, whatever that looks like for you, like, get yourself into that position where you're as healthy, mentally healthy as you're able to be, and then everything else will come off of that. And with that, my darling, I will leave you with that. Right, so hopefully that helps. I've got two. How many have I got in? I've got 3 questions left, so I'm going to try and go through all 3 of them between now and 9 o'clock. So I've got Mild Honey in. Mild Honey, are you here on the live stream? If so, come and say hello in the chat, please. Thank you, Holland. Holland's wonderful. Can you see where things are starred, Holland? I don't know whether you can. I don't think you can see what I've starred, but anyway, thank you so much. Oh, Kanika, let's have a look. You've said, thanks for such a wonderful reading. Oh, no problem, my darling. I really love the way you explained each and everything, and it resonated with you. Oh, my darling, it was lovely connecting with you. Much love to you. Oh, thank you, my darling. Don't forget, if you ever want a private reading, I do them over at fiverr.com/beyond authentic. The I in authentic is the number 1, but that will eventually be changing. So yeah, and then as we always say, you know, if you are wanting to support the channel, you can always go over to buymeacoffee.com. But just saying that, like, sending messages like that really helps. And just being here, and come back and see us soon and let us know how things are going. Mild Honey, I've got your thank you, my darling. You saying same to you. Mild Honey, I've got your questions, so I will go ahead and jump in on that for you. So your question is, what's coming up next for your career? You're currently looking. Okay, so then, dragons, I'm pulling the Rider-Waite again. I don't know why. I'm drawn to different decks for different questions. I've got no idea. Anyway, we'll do that reading for you, Mild Honey. I'm just going to click your 7-second spacer. Oh, just put my drink down. Oh, sorry. It's one of the things, if you ever wonder why I play those little 5, 7, 10-second clips, it's because I'm taking a mouthful of drink, because I have something called misophonia, which apparently is linked to ADHD, which I'm now discovering. Didn't know that before, but basically it means mouth noises are like torture for me. So somebody eating, somebody drinking, all of that is just absolute hell for me. So yeah, so basically, because I struggle with that a lot, it means that if I'm ever in a situation where I need to take a drink, then I try and play something over the top, or at least mute the microphone. That was part of the reason for getting this Stream Deck device, which is still not fully on yet, because I need to get the profile transferred over from the other laptop. But anyway, I'll be able to just press a button and that will instantly hit the mute button, rather than me having to get the mouse and then struggle with it and go down to here and then press the button and then it just goes, oh, you can't read what I'm saying. Do you know what I mean? Like, rather than doing all of that, I'll just be able to go click, 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 click. Makes life a lot easier. Anyway, right. Mild Honey. I love your name, by the way, Mild Honey. I like a nice mild honey. I really do. A bit too sweet for me these days because I am diabetic, but you know, I do like a nice lavender honey, a really nice mild lavender honey. Anyway, so then Dragons, Mild Honey would like to know what's coming up next for their career. They are currently looking. So let's have a look and see what the Dragons have got in store for you. Oh. So there is a difference between a card dropping and cards flipping. I know it might not look it on the stream, but when a card flips, see, right, prime example, you see that there, right? That's lots of cards that have just flipped. That is a shuffling error. Hang on. Sorry, I had to burp. I've just been drinking pop. So that's a shuffling error. There is a difference from that to when one single card. See, again, shuffling error. There you go, look. Lots of cards. It's just my hands getting tired. Then just one single card, which will sometimes flip or sometimes it will slide over the rest and then land on the table. But you haven't got a clarifying card, so we haven't got a modifier for you. So we're just going to do the drop. Nope, come on, cards. Do the drop. There we go. Fabulous. Right then. So what is coming up next? So we've got the Six of Swords. This is the energy coming into where you are now. The Nine of Pentacles with the energy at the moment. And the Five. Oh, interesting. So the Six of Pentacles, the Six of Swords, I should say, is the suit that is talking about, Swords is talking about challenges. The Six is talking about challenges that you are trying to move away from, trying to get over, but they kind of go with you, if that makes sense. Literally, you're on the boat, you're like, you're huddled here because life's a bit crap, and I don't know whether this is a person you've got with you, maybe a child, I don't know. Not saying that you've got a child, it's just like talking about the picture on the cards. And then basically, you've paid the ferryman and you're off on this boat escaping the troubles, but you've taken the swords with you. These swords are connected to the boat. In other decks I've got, they're like here in the water and they're trapping or stopping the movement. But this is really talking about there's been issues in the past that have felt like there's just no way through them. And it's felt like whichever way you turn, it's almost like at every single hurdle, there's another challenge, another obstacle. And that's something which is never fun to experience. And it's something which, again, if you're looking for work, it's like every door gets slammed in your face and it can be really, really disheartening. But the fact that this is, like the fact that the Six is here, it's like you're still attempting to find your way through. You're not giving up. You're not kind of, you know, saying, woe is me, everything's turned to shit. You're actively trying to make a path through this and deal with these obstacles when they come up. So if nothing else, you should be commended for that, because it does take a hell of a lot out of you when you're facing this many obstacles. Now, in the present, we've got the Nine of Pentacles. So this is talking about career and finances. And again, I think this is setting your, like, perhaps setting your what's it called, like setting your intention out into the universe. So this is like attempting to manifest. So we've got this bird of prey here, we've got this incredibly bright regal golden clothes with this lavish embroidery. So this is a certain element where money is in the abundance. Okay, so because you're looking for work currently, I think this is kind of your goal setting, if that makes sense. And it almost feels that you're looking for well-paid employment. You're looking for, you know, maybe positions of authority, positions of, you know, with experience. The question then becomes, do you have the experience for the jobs that you're actually applying for? And that's something that is something which I do think is quite a question. Then the nines are always talking about there not being a job. The job isn't finished yet. Okay, so literally the 10 is the pinnacle that you can go on the decks before we get to the court cards, the page, the knight, the queen and the king. So the 10 is kind of like the job's done. Now it's time to revel in all of your wonders. You know, everything is complete. But when you're searching for work, I don't think the job's done yet. So I don't think that I don't think you're you're there yet. I think there's still work to do in terms of getting a new position. Hopefully that makes sense. Hopefully you're, you know, if you're financially okay, or you've got some sort of means of supporting yourself at the moment, because I do think that there's still a lot of work to do in terms of career movement, and in terms of moving forward. Because in this future position, we've got the 5. Now, the 5 is a little bit of a tricky card. It's saying that it can go either way. So you've got this element here where you've got basically a lot of the 5 of Pentacle cards depict beggars in front of a church, and you've got this dichotomy that goes on between this wealth of the church and this like immense wealth that the church has compared to the people that, you know, will give their last pennies to the church in order to support the church, even though, do they get that back, question mark. But this is not the time for that discussion, but it is the time to say that, you know, the 5 is literally kind of in balance, so things could go either way at the moment. Now, when you're looking for a new career, obviously you would rather it be this way round, wouldn't you, to say that things are in balance at the moment and things are going to come out that way. But I think this is talking about the job is still, there's still work to do in terms of searching for the right job. And I think this is maybe looking at setting your sights maybe a little bit more realistic. I don't know whether that makes sense. And it doesn't mean like going in for an entry job. If you've got 4 degrees and a doctorate, excuse me, if you've got 4 degrees and a doctorate, like don't just go looking for a job, you know, that's very, very menial or very entry level, you know, like suddenly going to be a data clerk if you're the person that, you know, the last job you had was dealing with all of the things that when the numbers are crunched, making the big decisions. Like, there's nothing wrong with being a data clerk, but if that's kind of such a massive step down that it's not going to be feasible for you to do, then you need to adjust it. But equally, if you're not somebody who's got the experience of dealing with high detailed, high like, I'm not explaining it, am I? Like, if you're not in the executive offices now where you're dealing with the issues that the data clerks and the numbers that they are crunching, then maybe you do need to be in a data clerk. Does that make sense? Maybe you need that entry position. I don't know if that makes any kind of sense. I'm hang on a second. Let me see whether you've said anything in the live. No. Patricia, maybe a compromise. Thank you, Patricia. Compromise. This is talking about a compromise. So yeah, maybe thank you. That's the words I was trying to say. So yeah, maybe if you've got all of this experience in one workplace, so you're the executive that used to deal with all of the numbers, for example, right, in the blah 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 corporation, the Smith Corporation, right, and you were head of the Smith Corporation, and that's gone and they got bought out by Jones Inc., right, for example, then maybe you can jump into another executive position over here. However, maybe maybe you're going to have to go in at a lower level and work your way up back to that. Does that make sense? And Patricia's idea of going sideways rather than necessarily upward, I think that's something that yeah, this would represent that. So maybe that's what that's talking about. Hang on, let's pull you one more card. We've got the 2 of Cups. So there's going to be somebody coming in that can help guide you. So ask if there's somebody around you, whether it's a work-based mentor or whether it's somebody that you are... how can I put it? If there's somebody that you are very, very close to within the workplace, maybe that is somebody that you need to take some advice from. Even if it's a loved one, even if it's not necessarily a work mentor, there will be somebody around you that knows you, knows your capabilities, knows your your experience level, and they will be able to offer some practical advice. Because I think that this 9, I think you may be pitching it too high, and that may be causing a bit of an issue, because if you pitch it this high and then you're feeling like you know, you're stepping down to accept a lesser position, whereas actually if you think about it as a sideways move, that might help. And whoever this person is, this could be me and Patricia, but whoever this person is, do take their advice. And hopefully, my darling, hopefully that helps, mild honey. Right, okay. I think I know there's 2 more left, but I think we're going to have to call time there, unfortunately, because it is, by my calculations, it's now 3 minutes past 9, and that is going to be the end of the stream today. I'm so sorry that I didn't get to Joshi, Shristi and Jem, but if you want to come back and see us on Sunday when I'm next live streaming, I may well be on Thursday morning 11 a.m. UK time as well, but I intend to do that. But I'm at the warehouse all day tomorrow, so I may well be too knackered. My Fiverr has been a bit hit and miss recently, so yeah. But if you both want to come back in on the next live stream that you see, and then I will try and help out, and we'll try and get you on the priority list for those. Thank you so much, everybody. I am a little bit knackered now. I was going to finish at 8:30, but we had so many readings in. But yeah, thank you so much to the amazing Ed, Patricia, and thank you so much to the wonderful Holland as well. Thank you, you three, for helping me out no end. Holland, obviously we all wish and send our very best thoughts and wishes to your mum. Thank you so much for helping out on today's stream. Thank you to everybody who asked questions. I don't know how many we got through again because my brain doesn't remember. But thank you so much to everybody for asking questions, and thank you for all of the support on the channel. I have been Lisa. I am now going to go for something to eat, even though it's 9 o'clock at night, because I am hungry, and I will speak to you all very soon. As we always say on this channel, stay you, stay authentic, and I will definitely see you on the next one. Bye-bye.
Are you a fan of 80s horror but want something different? Do you like modern horror but the regular magazines leave you a bit cold? Are you a fan of that schlocky horror that no one else seems to talk about? Check out Necronomicon, the UK horror zine from Etsy.com. Just search for Necroneil.
We have a super strong connection here. Right. Oh my God!